Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just a few house rules, please. If I could ask all of you just to turn your cell phones off on silent. The event is being live streamed and we don't want any interference on the live stream side. The bathrooms are there at reception where everybody came in and where you took your temperature. Just around the corner from reception is where you'll find the bathrooms. The smoking area is to my left over here in the where you had your tea and coffee. There's a door going outside, that's where the smoking room is. And for those who don't smoke, please don't go there. Okay, thank you very much. On behalf of PrintingSA, CEO Dr. Abdul Majid Mohammed, who could not be with us today, I would like to welcome all of you to the PrintingSA CEO Breakfast in partnership with Productivity SA and Kyocera South Africa. Today is a great day for us as it marks our first event since going into lockdown in 2020, as well as our first event to mark our celebrations as PrintingSA celebrates our 110th anniversary this year, for which we are extremely proud. I use the words to celebrate because that is what we are practically doing here today, not only marking 110 productive years that have passed since the Federation's establishment in 1911, but also to honor 110 years of enlightening collaboration with our staff, stakeholders, strategic partners, and most importantly, our members. As PrintingSA is a member-centric organization, we would like to say thank you to each one of you for being the driving force behind the Federation's success and longevity for over a century. We are very pleased to welcome those of you who have been with us for a long time, as well as those who are new to the industry and our association, and we hope to be able to incorporate those of you who are not yet members of PrintingSA in the not-too-distant future. Looking around this room, I'm filled with inspiration and hope. Yes, we face a daunting public health phenomenon, but your attendance and willingness to be part of this live event is testament to your resolve and unrelenting drive to see your companies and this industry continue to weather the storm and survive well beyond what the history books will write. With you as allies, I have no doubt that we are embarking on an age of unprecedented progress. I would like to extend a special welcome to our distinguished partners and guests, Ms. Lalane Janse van Rensburg, Regional Executive Manager, Operations Region 1, Productivity SA, and our host's newly incorporated member, Mr. Werner Engelbrecht, General Manager, Kyocera South Africa. Gathered here today is an impressive group of leaders that is also very diverse. You come from all walks of life and all corners of the country, yet for all this rich diversity, there is something that unites us. Despite our myriad occupations, we have all chosen to be here and to be here now, sharing a common perspective and a set of core commitments. We are here now because we have been, to an extent, displaced in the past 12 months and more, and are yearning to reconnect and redevelop ourselves and our companies. We believe that it's within our power to create a real and lasting change within our organizations. We are here now because we believe that improving productivity is a crucial part of making, streamlining, innovating, and improving our business's chance of maximizing on its resources. We are here now because we resist the tendency of far too many who fail to use their education, opportunities, power or wealth to continuously learn and develop themselves and their employees. We are here now because we understand that the world is interconnected, that the future of each one of us is tied to the fate of others. I am because we are. This is how Ubuntu translates. Those of you here today recognize this truth, and you also understand the need for quick and decisive action. It was referred to by Martin Luther King as the fierce urgency of now. The fact that delay carries devastating human costs. I often think of PrintingSA as the bow and its members as the arrows. We propel their work into the larger world through the force of knowledge. Hence, we create these platforms for the sharing of knowledge to further empower not only our members, but the industry at large. Before I close, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you who generously helped us make this event come together to become a success. Abisha Katerere, PrintingSA Marketing Manager, Sharon Pesh, Kyocera SA, Marketing and Communications Manager, and her team Heidie-Mari, Lalane, and Greg. Shania and her team from Africa Print and Sign Africa, we could not have done this without you. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I need to leave some time for Lalane to unpack the what Productivity SA has to offer the industry. And please do not forget, we have a showroom tour and a light lunch for you afterwards. So I encourage you to spend some more time with us afterwards, networking with one another and unlocking potential. I guarantee you today will be fun and full of learning. Thank you very much for listening, and let us welcome Ms. Lalane Janse van Rensburg from Productivity SA. Thank you.
How wonderful without a mask. Whew. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm going to take you through a presentation, and as I've been introduced, I represent an entity called Productivity SA. After the presentation, there will also be a video, and I really urge you to stay and to look at the video, because in the Productivity SA video, we look at some of the actual case studies where productivity implementations have taken place in the past. So as I go through this presentation, please keep in mind that our website is so much productivity in this country, and it's inspiring. It's inspiring to see how it works in entities that are struggling. It's inspiring to see how it works in new businesses that are established. So please do visit our website, www.productivitysa.co.za. So I can only touch on some of the work that we do. But thank you again for this opportunity. As I said, I represent Productivity SA. Now, Productivity SA is a government-funded entity, and we have a legislative mandate. So that means that we have an annual performance plan, a 5-year performance plan, and that we receive government funding. That's basically how it works. And we then go out and we find beneficiaries, and we implement productivity-related solutions. So according to our legislative mandate, we're a 3A public entity of the Department of Employment and Labour. So we feed into them, and every business that benefits from Productivity SA solutions, and as I said, we are proudly funded by the government, we actually then showcase, and this goes back into government so that you can see how it works and where it was successful and where it wasn't successful. Our vision is to lead and inspire productive and competitive South Africa. Now that's like selling happiness, if you think about it, to lead and inspire. But the beautiful thing about productivity is you can measure it. And if you can measure something, you can improve on it. So everything that we do, every solution that we bring in, is something that we start with a baseline, and then we bring in a solution, after which we then measure the impact. And that's what's motivating other companies to come to us, because you can actually see the impact of the project improving or not, so that you can see whether you should intervene. So as I go through the presentation, you'll see that I'm going to look at developmental programs that we have for new businesses, but also I'm going to tell you about a program that we have at Productivity SA called the Business Turnaround and Recovery Program, so that you know when you go back to your offices and you know about a business that is failing and they need our solutions, so that you know and you can tell them about Productivity SA. So I'm going to use this platform because productivity is everybody's business, and we are a national entity, so there is no one who cannot benefit from solutions that we have. Our mission to improve productivity by diagnosing, as I said, so we start with a baseline and then we diagnose what exactly is your productivity problem. Do you want to improve? Do you want to eliminate a bottleneck? Is it a business that you want to turn around? And then we have advising. So what we do is we use business engineers and industrial psychologists. We come to your business, we diagnose what exactly is wrong, identify the bottleneck, advise you by means of coaching. So we don't tell you, we advise you, we identify the problem, and then we coach you so that you can actually work on the solution yourself. So that the dependency then, when we exit as Productivity SA, is that you can do this yourself. You're a productivity champion. Implementing solutions, obviously we don't just put it on paper, we implement an actual solution that you can measure and that you can repeat. And then monitoring, which is very important, because if you do not monitor the progress of an implementation, of a productivity implementation in any business, be it a small business, be it a large business, then you won't know if you're failing. So every solution that we bring in is built on the premise of what is called an early warning system. So we teach you how to identify productivity projects in your business by means of an early warning system that we bring in. Now, once we bring in that system, it's yours, you use it, but then you know when there's a problem in the business. You know when to appoint. You know when not to appoint. And you know when you're in trouble, and you know when you can expand. So it's very, very important to know these things about your business, because if you just look at your financials, it's very, very difficult to determine at which point a business should grow and at which point you should ask for intervention. So going to the next slide. Our national footprint, we have 3 regions. Region 1 is Gauteng, Limpopo and Northwest. Region 2, with Executive Manager Mr. Albert Brink, is Western Cape, Free State and Northern Cape. And Region 3, Ms. Amelia Naidu, is KZN, Eastern Cape and Mpumalanga. So what that means is that we're a national entity, as I said, but that any business can benefit from the solution that we have available. So we just indicated for you there, but it doesn't mean that I, for instance, have someone in the audience here from Productivity SA. He's my new senior manager, Mr. Neil Moodley. Neil, give us a wave, if you don't mind. Thank you so much. So if you have any questions, you can pose it to him, you can pose it to any one of us, or go to the website, and then we'll get back to you. Because it's very, very important to get the message out there, and government funding doesn't go for marketing, unfortunately. So we use these events to get the message out there. So demystifying the concept of productivity. Now, this is not a lecture, so I'm not going to ask who knows about productivity, because I think all of us know with COVID-19 that the productivity of South Africa has massively, massively been impacted. And what this means is jobs that have been created in the past are getting lost, businesses that have been started, they are failing, and this has an impact on every household within South Africa, because businesses are suffering. So if we look at demystifying the concept of productivity, looking at the screen, productivity is more than just a measure of how effectively resources are used to produce goods and services. We don't just look at quantitative productivity, you look at multi-factor productivity throughout your business. And we look in a pyramid form. So we look at top down, bottom up, and we include all the layers within the business. So when you bring in a productivity project, for example, into a business, we don't just look at one definition of productivity. We look at your understanding of productivity. We measure your understanding of productivity in your business, and then we bring in the methodology of the well-accepted methodology of productivity via Kaizen, which is productivity improvement solutions. So we have many methods that we can actually use, and we are not conflicted by a school of thought. We implement productivity. So our baseline is we look at how is your business doing quantitatively and qualitatively, and then how can we improve it? Can it be improved? Because you can actually predict success with a business. So again, at the heart of productivity is the individual. So when you go into a business, we are here now today, or you go to Productivity SA, you shouldn't just go to the business and think, these are the resources, these are the managers, this is the union, this. You have to personify productivity into your business so that when you work on an individual level and someone can conceptualize productivity on their own, they inculcate a culture in that business. Now, once you inculcate and you change a culture in a business and it becomes a productive business, then any solution we bring in is going to work in that business. But if you do not convince your team and you do not inculcate that culture, it's not going to work. We can bring you the best solutions, and I do guarantee you we have some seriously good solutions, but it's about inculcating that into your business culture. You must want to improve your productivity. So we can bring you the solutions, we can bring you the engineers, we can look at your systems, but ultimately it's about you. Do you want to be productive? So for you to want to be productive, you have to understand what productivity is. Now, productivity is continuously improving yourself because you're part of a system. And once you understand your impact on the bottom line of that system, and if you are productive, then the business is going to become productive. And ultimately, nobody needs to get retrenched, the business will do well. But if you come in late, and you take a late lunch, and you leave early, and you don't respond to the phone, ultimately this will impact on your productivity of your business. So once you convince someone there on an individual level, then productivity improvement will work for you. So the benefits of productivity for our country, but I think we should think for the world. Now, South Africa has seriously taken a bit of a plummet when it comes to productivity, and we are not unique. Everybody's been affected by COVID-19. But for South Africa, to be a productive country, it's a source of sustainable growth. Because if our productivity improves and other countries look at us as an example, then they will want to improve, because countries are competitive, as are businesses, as are individuals. So it's very, very important to understand that for a country to grow, you need to be productive. You need to portray that you are productive, and you need to showcase your productivity. Employment creation, a productive business creates employment, because you're going to replicate. If it's working, you're making money, you're going to replicate what you're doing. If you replicate what you're doing, you're going to need more resources. So that's why there's more employment creation. It offers a route out of poverty and alleviation. If you're productive, you understand. For instance, let's take a simple example. If you're productive with your time, you know not to waste time. You're going to be a productive parent. You're going to be a productive sibling. You're going to be a productive boss. You're going to be a productive whatever you do, productive driver. You will not waste time. Time is money. It's an old saying, but time is money. So you will be productive and you will not waste time. It's a little thing. But if you can get that concept going, then you will become a productive person, ergo productive business, productive country, productive world. So it's about inculcating that culture again. For organizations, it leads to lower unit costs of production. So we focus on the solutions that we bring. It's focusing on taking away waste in your business, looking at bottlenecks. Why is something taking so long? Why is your churn long? Why are you not making your targets? What exactly is the problem there? So we do this by means of something that we bring in your business. It's called a future forum. So we come and establish a committee in your business with your employees. And we inculcate a productivity culture when we do this forum. Now, once we leave, this forum then implements the productivity solutions in the business, and we come in and we monitor. So how this works then is not only have you internalized productivity in your business, but your shop floor level, your management, everybody's involved. The union is on board because they understand productivity improvement leads to jobs not being lost. So once you make that link, everybody becomes involved. Increased contributions to society and enhanced support for social causes. So as I said, again, if one follows the trends on productivity and how the countries are dropping with their productivity levels, how businesses are shutting down, how poverty is taking over due to various links to COVID-19, but then you will understand how important it is to take what you have and not waste a single cent of it, not waste an hour of your day, not be that parent that allows your children to just play. Teach them not to waste, because this is the world we're going into. So this is your time to be productive now. And for workers and individuals, job security, if there is such a thing, job security, that you work for a business that has your best interests at heart. They want to see you thrive. They want to see you productive. But you cannot expect job security if you are not a productive employee. So understanding that, it takes two to tango. It is very, very important to be that productive employee, to be that productive manager, because people see what you do and they will replicate your behavior. Better wages, who doesn't want better wages, better opportunities, because who's not going to want a productive manager? So you will be promoted once you do well on your project. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Efficient use of resources. Productivity is about not wasting. So if you understand on a project, for instance, let's take a normal solution, you understand a typical project, one resource or one person, one project manager can run 3 projects. Don't give them less than 3. If there is something wrong with speed of implementation, it's waste. Rather identify what the problem is then accommodate the person. So you can only see that if you understand productivity, because you can measure it. You can measure implementation speed, and you can pick this up, and then you display it, and then obviously you see what the source of the problem is, and you bring in a solution customized for that specific problem. Is it speed? Is it quality? Is it cost? What is the problem? And then you bring a productivity intervention to look at that. So it's a customizable solution for something that is a typical problem in a business. I mean, businesses, we all have unique selling propositions, but business itself is not a unique concept. Productivity is not a unique concept. So it does work. It's just about pairing the two at the right point in time and then measuring it. Better quality of life benefits, poverty alleviation, promotion of employment, productivity and labor standards, because productivity actually indicates your utilization of your resources. You can understand within your business who works hard, who needs a bit of help, where is your lag. Productivity does that, so that you understand that are you as a team leader or a project manager or a jockey in a business, are you actually improving productivity in that business? Is the business productive? Can you do better? Should you replicate? So this is all things that you can actually see when you do a productivity implementation. The productivity and competitiveness issues, I'm not going to focus too much on this. Obviously you can understand, and I've said this in my presentation, that there's a lot of problems linked to productivity in business. Because if you understand a bottleneck, typical solutions that we do, and that's nobody is exempt to productivity, whether it's a bakery, whether it's a corporate, whether it's Rand Water, whether it's a big government entity, whether it's a cooperative that's just been established. You can measure what the problem is. It's just about the beneficiary being different. So my message to you is that everybody can benefit from productivity, and you will not remember everything I say today. The human mind can only concentrate 42 minutes at a point of time, but it's important that you remember that we do have a productivity SA in South Africa. We do have solutions, and we are always looking for partners in productivity. We are always looking for beneficiaries. Remember that and go to the website, and you would not have wasted your time today. So competitiveness issues, I'm going to refer you to our website here, but it is obvious that the productivity landscape is dropping. Productivity, not just in South Africa, as I said, we're not exempt to COVID-19, but it is a problem. And it is up to us as a country to see how we can improve our productivity so that we can showcase productivity, we can replicate it, and we can implement the solutions. More issues about productivity. Now, looking at this slide, this is a normal bell curve of a business. You have your emerging enterprises, and then you have your businesses that are sustainable, but they want to do better. They want to become best practice businesses. And then you have your distressed businesses. Now, how our business model works is, if you look at this bell curve, we have a solution for every access point. Now, the first one is your emerging businesses. Now, an emerging business has its own unique problems. So as an emerging business, what we do as product, we don't do your business plan. We're not going to touch it. I mean, we'll touch it. We'll read it to see how you're implementing it. But we don't do that. What we do is we visit it, we measure your productivity, we show you how to do it, and we bring in early warning systems in your business. Then you go to the top, which is your sustainable businesses. Now, with sustainable businesses, we have a unit called Competitiveness Improvement Solutions. But what that means is, it's developmental. The business is doing well, but it can always do better. So we come and we measure your productivity on a scale from 1 to 5, and we rate you, and then we bring in solutions so that you can get there, you can get better. So this is a very popular solution that we implement across the country, and if you are willing to showcase the improvement journey, you go to the Productivity Awards, which is held every year for the past 40 years in October. So then you showcase your success. So please do visit the website, because as Productivity SA has been there, it used to be the National Productivity Institute. It's been there for 40 years when it comes to this specific Productivity Awards, and you can then showcase what has happened in your business. And we don't just showcase success, we showcase failure as well, because you need to see what went wrong so that you can learn from someone else's mistakes. Coming to business turnaround and recovery. Now this is something I want to touch on, and I want you to think about it. Because now we know COVID-19, it's here, there's so many things that is wrong. But there's also so many things that is right at this point in time. Because if you look at the business turnaround, the area in pink there, it is a program that is fully funded by the UIF, the Unemployment Insurance Fund. And Productivity SA is an implementation body. Now what this means is if your business participates in this, you don't pay for it. It's a government funded thing, and it's a very effective thing. Now let's talk about this thing, this business turnaround and recovery. It is not business rescue. We do not take over your salaries. It's not the business rescue that we have different entities looking at that. We have what is called a solution, where we come in and we measure what is wrong in the business. We work with you up to a period of 9 to 12 months even, and we try and turn around the business. We turn around this business to see what is it that went wrong with your business model, your structure, your implementation, your sales, your cost. What's wrong here? So that we can see how we can fix it. So we then bring in an area of specialists for different areas of your business, be it marketing, be it HR, be it finance, be it whatever was wrong in the business and what's right in the business. And then once the solution is done, we exit, and then the business is turned around. So this solution, and I'm going to say it again, is a brilliant one because of what's happening in this country right now. Because businesses aren't necessarily going for competitiveness at this point. They don't think they can. They are going for turnaround solutions because they don't want to retrench. They don't want to shut down. They don't want to be the cause of someone else's tears. And please take the time and look at this program. Now on the bottom of the screen, this is now something important. There's always terms and conditions, and they always apply. So let's go through them. If you look at a business that would qualify for a turnaround, the ideal business would have at least 20 employees. And the reason for this is the type of solutions that we bring in. With this program, we want to inculcate that culture. So we need to leave champions in your business. It just works better. And this is in practice. We've seen this. It works better in a business that has more than 20 employees. The second one is regulatory compliance. They must pay UIF in order for you to benefit from UIF. So if you don't, you won't. It's basically what it says. So if you are UIF compliant and your employees are, then you will benefit from this program if all the boxes are ticked. Then it's UIF and it's your SARS must also be up to date. The receiver must always be happy, and once that is it becomes a productive business. So if there is a problem there, it doesn't say that we will not consider assisting you with other solutions, but you cannot qualify for this one if those things are not there. Then your financials. We look at 2 years financials. We do a quantitative analysis of the 2 years. And the reason we do this is not because we're interested in just finding out about your finances. It's used to predict whether the solution will actually work for you. Because to take a struggling business through a solution and the solution you predict it can't work is really just a waste of time, and we don't do waste at Productivity SA. So that's very, very important that you look at your financials, and then your operating premises. You must operate from a premises. And it's a restriction of this specific program. So we do check whether you are operating from a premises. Because you have so many employees, it's very, very important that we bring in these future forums on a premises. So this is one of the restrictions. So looking at those, you must obviously also be in distress, some form of distress. You can't just decide you want to do a turnaround because you have some time and you want to implement the solution. It's not going to work well, and we won't do it. We simply won't. But if you do qualify for it, please do contact us, because ultimately, a lot of, and I would say most of the businesses, when I go to schools and I talk about productivity, and you ask them, have you heard of productivity before? They don't know. They know productivity, but they've never heard of us. And we weren't established yesterday, and that says a lot. So it's very, very important that I oversell at this point, because these solutions are not new, they are there. But you have to actually access and apply for them, and you have to follow through. And then you'll succeed, because it's predictable. Success is predictable, but you have to be constant. So that's the productive way of business. So these are the solutions. Now, just looking at this plain slide, we have hundreds of solutions, hundreds of methods that we improve productivity, and you're not going to remember all of them. So it's easier to just look at the bell curve and to know that whether it's in a small business, a business that's growing, or a business that's in distress, we'll look at it. Now, a business that is in distress does not mean this business has flatlined. This business has started retrenching. This business, it's just going to close the door, because then we have to see that there's a propensity and there's a possibility for this business to be turned around. So we come and we do an assessment. So if we can actually turn around the business, we'll attempt it. But if this business is destined to fail, the signs are there, we indicate that in our report, and unfortunately we cannot then assist you. There is other government entities that can assist at that point with certain things, but our service offering is based on the principle that we can actually improve this business. So we go in to improve it, we don't go in to close it. Our functions is to promote, and this sounds so soft and fluffy, but it's not. It's very difficult to do. But we promote the culture of productivity in the workplace, so we have to convince you to be productive. And that's a lot of work. But once you're productive, it's very difficult not to be productive after that. Facilitate and evaluate productivity improvement and competencies. So we look at the individual who is coached. We bring in coaches to coach you on this. And we bring in engineers, system specialists. We look at various aspects. So we look at the soft and the hard aspects in the business, not just one of the two. Support initiatives aimed at preventing job losses. Ultimately, that's how we measure. If jobs are lost, then we've lost. Our productivity is measured, and obviously everything that we do is measured, is by means of job losses. We must try and retain. So it is not our first objective to create, ours is to retain. So then we've won. So measure and evaluate productivity in the workplace. We also publish on it. So we work with different entities and universities and the International Labour Organization. So we actually publish on productivity, but we will never do it without your permission. But there's a lot of ways to publish your productivity so that others can learn from it, students can learn from it, and you can pay it forward. And to maintain a database of productivity and competitiveness systems, we publish, as I said, but we also create, we are running a program for the DTIC, the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, which is called the Kyocera program. Now, this program is a job readiness program. So productivity is the implementation body. This project was given to us by the DTIC, and it is funded by the National Skills Fund. And what this means is it's a funded project, A, but B, we take graduates and we train them as productivity champions. Then we put them in business and we pay their salaries, very small, it's a stipend, but we pay their stipends for a period of a year. We measure their productivity, and then we unleash them into the market. So usually they get absorbed by the businesses that we place them in, but if not, we take them, and if not, they become entrepreneurs and they start businesses. So we try and get them young and get them productive as soon as possible. So we are running, we currently have 1,200 graduates in the market, and they are ready for action. So this is also a beautiful productivity implementation, proudly sponsored by the Department of Trade and Industry and the National Skills Fund. So looking at our enterprise development and support programs, everybody does enterprise development and it's wonderful. It's just very important to be productive about it. So you must never train for the sake of training or do a program for the sake of doing it, because then it's not productive, and you can rather then leave it because you are not improving the system. So just when you look at enterprise support programs, we are running with a couple of corporates. And what we do is we still use our methodology, we still use our ways, but productivity is everybody's business. So we latch onto what they are doing and we just improve their productivity. So we do have a couple of programs like that. I'm just going to look at this slide. As I said, that unit is called Competitiveness Improvement Solutions. It's got its own executive. Our head office is here in Midrand. And that's Miss Amelia Naidu that you saw a bit earlier. So she looks at the program. I'm one of the regional managers, so we implement various programs in our different regions. But ultimately, this is for small businesses, cooperatives, or businesses that just want to improve their productivity. So we have small programs that run 3 days, and we have programs that run up to 4 months, and very effective, and we can show you a lot of case studies. It's really very, very effective, and it's coveted. There's a massive pipeline for it. This is basically our cycle. So we look at acquisition, we fish, we find clients for the pipeline. We do enterprise-based productivity forums. That's the future forum I was referring to. Then we do an in-depth assessment. We look at every aspect of your business. We obviously keep it confidential, but it's very important to understand all aspects of your business, your financials, and to read and to predict what we need to do and whether it's going to be productive for you to do that program. And then strategy plan implementation. So we have a strat plan. We sit with your exco or your CEO, or if it's a co-op, we sit with the co-op and the different 5 members of it. But we go through that strategic plan, which we draft for you. We go through it, and if you're in agreement, that's what we implement. So we will never force implementation on you, and you are on board through the entire process. But there is a plan, and it needs to be measured. So if you do not comply with that plan, then we take you off the program. It is very, very important that you have to have buy-in throughout the process, because we take it very, very seriously. Because if this program fails, then usually retrenchment is next. So this is your last avenue. So it's very, very important that you really buy into the system. And then closeout. We do closeout reports. If you allow us, we then showcase it, we publish on it, and others can learn from your productivity. It basically aims to alleviate productivity in the workplace, our different programs. And as I said, you won't remember all of this, but just remember that bell curve. So at some point, we can assist you. The post-COVID-19 agenda going forward, I'm just going to quickly look at this slide, is basically looking at integrated training and skills development ecosystem. So we don't work in isolation. We make partners. That's why we're here today, because we are partners and we implement solutions in businesses. And to us, it's not about doing one. We want to scale this so that we can do as many as we can and make a difference. We have to have impact in this country. We have to improve our productivity. So that is why we're looking at an integrated system. So we are partners of the likes of CEDA and CIFA and all of the other government entities. We don't function in isolation. We don't repeat business. So if they have a mandate, we have our own. And we complement that mandate. Then again, the support system, as I said, we have many partners, but we also have many funders. So it depends on the program. It depends on, is it a school? It depends on, is it a business that is failing? Is it a new cooperative? We do have different partners, but mainly we are with the Department of Employment and Labour, the Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, and the UIF. So looking at where you are in that bell curve. And then we have a research and innovative ecosystem. We have a whole unit in Productivity SA, statisticians, research experts, focusing on productivity improvement and looking for areas to publish on. So that's where we come in. We publish on your productivity so that we can see, has it improved, hasn't it improved? What is Ethiopia doing? What is Uganda doing? What are the different countries doing, so that we are on top of our game when it comes to our solutions. Again, there's our picture. I really don't like that picture. But anyway, that's our contact information. I think ultimately, if you remember anything from today, it's about productivity can be improved. It can be. But you cannot, and if you think about a medical condition, you cannot fix all medical conditions unless you've analyzed, you've looked at this patient, you know exactly what's wrong. So we need to know exactly what is wrong in this business for us to make a difference. We can't just generically apply it. So I think that is our model to success. I thank you for this slot. I've really enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed not wearing a mask for a little while. And please do not hesitate to look at the video, which will play in a little while. It's just a snapshot on productivity, but I think if you go out today, just be a productive person. Be a productive parent, and do what you do today better than you did it yesterday, and tomorrow you improve on today. So please, if you have any questions, just raise your hand. I'd love to try and respond to them. Whilst you're thinking, we have, yes.
Good morning, my name is Charity Skosana. I'm not sure if I missed it, but I'd just like to know, how do we get access to Productivity SA? in terms of, I think access. Do we go through the internet? Do we apply? Is there an online platform? How do we get through to you?
May I respond to the questions as they come up? I think it's a brilliant question, and Charity, I think it's a relevant question. Productivity SA was invited here today, and we're very grateful for that. And as I said, we use platforms like this so that we can actually recruit beneficiaries. So how do you get contact? Go to the website www.productivitysA.co.za. Look at the video. There's a video about different solutions and solutions in action, because I can tell you, but it's better to see it. And if you want to visit one of these sites, the implementation sites, you tell us, and we'll take you there so that you can see it, because we have a lot of productivity champions in South Africa. We have implemented productivity solutions in a lot of public entities, a lot of government entities. Not all of them wish to publish, but we have. And a lot of private entities. We have a silent income stream, even, where we consult with certain corporates, where we help them. So if it's not something that you qualify for, and you still want to use our solutions, it's unfortunately you're going to pay, but it's worth it. So we do have a bit of a consulting stream there. Go to our website, please, and access. You'll see there is a productivity measurement tool that you can look at. But before you go there, I would first look at the types of solutions. Where has it worked? So there's a lot of information on the website. So I would firstly go to productivity awards and see who's won awards and for what. How has this worked for them? So that I can be convinced whether or not I'm going to waste the rest of my time to look at this website or not. So once I'm convinced, then you look at, okay, which program really intrigued me. And once you understand that program, then you say, okay, application process is listed there. Do I qualify for that program? Now, for instance, on the website, you will find we have business improvement solutions. We have business startup workshops, but from a productivity perspective, we have Kaizen implementations, which run up to 4 months, where we do constant productivity improvement based on specific principles. We have SCORE program, which is an International Labour Organization productivity improvement project that we implement. It takes about 4 months to implement, between 4 to 7 months, depending on the participation. We have business turnaround, as I said. So all of them have different executives. Now, my details are here. I'm a regional executive, so I implement in Gauteng, Limpopo, and Northwest, for instance, but I implement all of them. So you could contact me. That's one way, but go to the website and see it in action, because it's I'm very passionate about productivity, because I see it. I can see it in action, I can see it save jobs. So you need to see that to be convinced. Then you will want to contact us. Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Yes, sir.
Morning, everyone. Pumlan Swartboy speaking. My question is around collaboration. How do you collaborate with other government agencies? Who do you collaborate with? And then also, I'm looking at your presentation, and I don't see much of the talk when it comes to small businesses. Even when I look at the 2030 agenda and all those things, I don't see much talk when it comes to the SMMEs, whereas they are the ones who are employing a lot of people and things like that. And also, I'm looking at the requirements. If you are saying a company must have maybe 20 employees to qualify, but it doesn't really speak to small businesses again, maybe medium or things like that. So those are the few questions. I hope they are clear.
Crystal clear. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to respond with the end in mind and say that Productivity SA has an annual target of assisting about in the region of 4,000 small businesses nationally. So our focus with small business is on firstly getting them to employ so many people so they can qualify. So we are partners with and I'm going to link this now to how your question started. We are partners with the likes of SEDA, the Small Enterprise Development Agency, with the Department of Small Business Development. We are part of that ecosystem. We use their practitioners and they use ours, so we are definitely in full-time partnerships with them. We don't repeat any of their business. We are involved in their projects. So what we do, for instance, with the likes of your SEDAs, is when a business goes to SEDA and they run through the SEDA Start program and the different beautiful programs that they have. And I have to admit, I come from that background, so yes, I'm converted. But once you go through those programs and your business has been established or you've been incubated, which is also a wonderful thing for small business, once you've been incubated and you graduate, then we can work with you. So then we come in and we improve your productivity. But if your business, although we can simulate productivity for you, we've done that, especially with schools and school projects, we can simulate productivity so we can create a project for you. But we'd rather do a live one in a business where you're already trading. So if you're not trading, you can benefit from productivity, but we'd rather either place you as a graduate. If you're not a graduate and it's a small business, we can do coaching on productivity, but we would rather you go through the entire portfolio in the ecosystem that is available for small business. Now there is. And knowledge is power. Now there's a lot of information available for small businesses, you just need to know it. And a good starting point is SEDA. It's a very good starting point. Because once you go to their website and you see what they have and the different incubators funded by the Department of Trade and Industry and Competition and the different solutions that they have and the coaches that they have, you'll understand where our role then comes in. What we do for cooperatives, we've customized the productivity solution and we've piloted it over the past almost 5 years, where we implement productivity solutions in co-ops and we publish on it. So that's how we assist to see how can we assist this small business with becoming more productive, but also understanding their unique requirements, because it's a very different system, a cooperative. So it really needs to be a system of collaboration and everybody needs buy-in, because otherwise you can also predict failure. So we do, I wouldn't say play, we do experiment and bring in productivity solutions. My specific field, I'm a psychologist, is bringing in coaching solutions into businesses, looking at entrepreneurial propensity and seeing the influence on productivity. So we then look at these things in the business, we publish a bit on it, we write the solution, we implement it in 100 companies, see if it works, what was there. So we do that, but our CIS program, which I started with, is the Continuous Improvement Solution Program, and any small business can benefit. But your question really that I'm hearing and after interpreting and linking says to me that you're worried that small business will not benefit from the turnaround. And we know this because the cutoff of 20 has really been problematic. So we've decided that we will consider businesses with less than 20 employees. But then we have to be able to predict that the solution will work for you. So we will consider you. But we don't want to go and oversell it, because it's very difficult to bring in a turnaround solution into a business that has, let's say, for argument's sake, hypothetically 4 employees. They operate from a garage or a very small office or a home office. They have 4 employees and they need to dedicate champions in this business. It becomes difficult for us to implement our solutions. So we do have to have champions and we do have to have people that are being championed. So it's difficult, but it can be done. So we just need to make sure that that business pays UIF, because if they don't, we won't. That business is SARS compliant, because if you're not, then unfortunately we won't be able to do it. And that business can actually is in distress, but that's very easy to determine. So we can do that within 3 days. We can determine your level of distress and then to see how we can assist you. Now, we don't have permanent employees at PrintingSA SA all over the show. We have a very small team as PrintingSA, but we're a national entity. So what we do is we train champions and then we unleash them. So we have industrial engineers, we take them from universities, we create work readiness so that they do this for their practicals, they implement the productivity sites, we pay them stipends through the UIF so that ultimately we have a workforce that is productive. So our business model is not a private one in the sense that we can make any profit from these solutions, but we have to work within the perimeters of the fund. So with a small business or a business with less than 20 employees, we'd rather bring in a Kaizen solution, a smaller version of the turnaround, and we practice and we see if it works. Because a small business, and any business for that matter, won't take 9 months to fail. If you're set to fail, you're going to fail very soon, and it's easy to predict that. So once we predict that, you get that report, and you know, you may not have qualified for the solution, but you know what's wrong in your business and what you need to improve on. So ultimately, it's a win-win, sir.
Hi, Lalane, Abisha here from PrintingSA. I've got 2 questions. First one being, how long does the application for the CIS take, as well as the qualifying criteria? I know is statutory compliance, minimum 20 people, as you've said, premises. Is there anything additional linked to that? And as well as the fact that I know you guys have got this grant that you're issuing to small businesses and medium and large. If you can just unpack that for us and tell us the value of that grant, and you know, obviously what does that all entail?
Thank you so much. Loaded question, sir. But it's fine, I'll respond. I think ultimately, Productivity SA, as I said, we're a funded entity. Now, because we have a specific mandate, and we're the only entity of our kind in South Africa, we have a mandate to improve productivity. We have a fund that is, or not a fund, we have funding that is allocated to us annually by Treasury. So how that works is we have a 5-year business plan, and we indicate in this business plan, these are our beneficiaries per province, this is our demographic, this is what we're looking for, and according to that we get funded. If we don't make that target, we don't get that funding. So it is very, very dependent on our success, and if we fail, then funds are pulled. So that's basically how our business model works. Now, for instance, something like the Business Turnaround and Recovery Program, which is part of your question, is linked to criteria, and the entry criteria specifically comes from the funder. So we don't create the criteria, we just implement the program. So the criteria was created by the funder, and if you think about it, unemployment insurance fund, it's your money. It gets deducted from your salary, and you will not want someone else to utilize the money that you pay monthly if they didn't contribute. So the funder cannot allow us to implement a solution in any entity that is not UIF compliant, because ultimately that's where your money goes. So when things go wrong, then that money is utilized via Productivity SA so that we do a business turnaround. So that's how the funding channel works. Now, the second one with regards to the also the Business Turnaround and Recovery Program, and thank you for inviting us. I needed actually to start with that. There's a lot of power in partnership. Is once we have a session like this, and typically I predict we're going to have about 4 leads after today, of which we'll close 1. So that would mean that 1 person in this room is probably going to sign with us. Probability is high because we've done this before. So you can predict it. So now this is not a waste of anybody's time, but because this business will ultimately save a lot of jobs going forward. So when we look at that and the business plan, the document, now I've asked Neil to wave to you a bit earlier. So he's my go-to person. So he looks at this application and says, okay, this is compliance-wise, they have so many employees, this is a document, and we're very strict. I have to, seriously, we're very strict. We don't play around. So once we are happy with that application, it comes to me and we access funding for it. But now everything that we do is measured. So if we bring in engineers into that business, or we assist you with funding linking to one or other funding application or credit committee, we have to have a trail of this. So your business specialist that is unleashed to your business then tells us and puts it in the report and says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and they need us to say, yes, you can do that. And you need to say, yes, I'm going to participate. And if you don't, then we stop the program and we inform the fund, and that's that. But ultimately, that's the only way we can access the fund. It is not a grant where we unleash funding to you. We do not fund businesses at all. There are other entities that do it, partners of ours that do it, but we actually implement solutions with the money. So we take our industrial engineers, they go to the business, they fix the problem, they come back home, and we send them to another business. So that's basically how the model works. Thanks. And after today, any of the areas that you're interested as our partner, and because you invited us, you can definitely just indicate to me and we will try and customize something for your beneficiaries. Thanks. Do we have any other questions? If you have something in your mind and you think about it later today, my email address is Lalane, Lalane, JVR @productivitysa.co.za. It's also on the website. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Griffith, and I have the privilege of having our new inkjet production press as part of the portfolio of products that I manage. And welcome to Kyocera Document Solutions South Africa. I'm not sure if any of you know who we are and what we stand for as a company, so I thought I'd just play a quick little video just to give you that idea.
Earth, our home. A world that is rapidly becoming more complex, more technological. Advances that help us to evolve, to change our lives in ways we could never have imagined. Creating a more accessible and manageable world. Evolution with one consistent purpose. People. At Kyocera Document Solutions, we work to power human progress. Built on a foundation of empathy, we use foresight to anticipate people's needs. We are proud to forge genuine bonds to achieve unity, to get teams working as one. This is what partnership means to us. Understanding our customers and their goals, joining them on their professional and personal journey. A commitment to improve society, to observe and learn from the world around us. To design tailor-made solutions for our customers, working side by side to ensure the impact we make is always a positive one. Kyocera Document Solutions has been championing innovative technology for decades. The time has come to go further, to make a giant leap forward, to unify our message and define a new route for our future, to unleash the potential of every single workplace, fostering business evolution. It's time to drive change, to create new value technology, because a single gesture all the difference. A gesture that enables people to turn information into knowledge, that spreads quickly and safely throughout organizations. A gesture of efficiency to develop state-of-the-art services and products that respect the environment. A gesture that encourages improvements through constant learning and helps people make better decisions in less time. A gesture to put knowledge to work to drive change. At Kyocera, our heritage inspires us to stay ahead of the wave of change. Adhering to our principles of technological excellence and empathy, we enable customers to achieve a real competitive advantage. We help them to become the leaders of tomorrow. We put knowledge at the service of humanity. It's time for a single gesture to show the world what we stand for. Kyocera Document Solutions. Put knowledge to work to drive change.
Right, so with the world looking to open up again, we expect many organizations to look to streamline processes, optimize costs, and look to reliability and consistency, all key factors in the print industry. However, over and above this, recent circumstances will also dictate a focus on a brighter tomorrow and a sustainable future. And to this, we believe print holds a strong position and is able to add a lot of value to that message. So our decision to move into production print is a strategic one. Our goal is to become a major force in inkjet production print. And with that said, we are very proud to present to you today our debut groundbreaking inkjet production printing solution, the TASKalfa Pro 15000C. So from a positioning point of view, we believe our device fills the gap between the roll-fed systems and the entry-level inkjet systems. A lot of customers are looking to start the inkjet journey, but the capital cost of the continuous roll-feed systems dictate that volumes need to be very, very high to get a good ROI. Our device, someone speaking? Our device plugs that gap perfectly, and it will enable the customers to start their inkjet journey. Our device also has very few moving parts. We really focus on spraying ink onto paper at high speeds with great consistency. Our device also uses very little heat. In fact, our dryer only gets up to 58 degrees Celsius, and it's just to make sure that the paper comes out dry and doesn't come out bent. And with that being such a low fusing temperature, we don't use a lot of power, so we don't need three-phase, and with that also we don't need expensive build-outs when the device is installed. So this is our first inkjet platform, but we're not new to inkjet. In fact, we've been making inkjet printheads for some time. We've also been building the most reliable MFPs in the marketplace. We've just decided for the first time to bring these two together. And then the result is our first all Kyocera original inkjet platform with our own water-based ink and our own printheads. So without further delay, I'm going to hand you over to the real brains of the operation. It's Heidi. She's our production printing specialist, and she'll take you through a bit more detail in terms of what the machine is. And then we'll also hope to see you in our experience center a bit later, where we'll walk you through the machine, and there's a whole lot of samples around there too, where you can actually have a look and just see the media flexibility we actually enjoy with our inkjet platform. So over to you, Heidi.
Morning, everybody, and first and utmost, I just want to say welcome. I'm just going to take you through a quick rundown of the equipment, and I would also like to encourage you to take advantage of the demo session in our customer experience center, which I will run you guys through all the components and what the machine can do. Please also come and learn with us, ask questions, participate. The more questions you ask, the better you will know what the equipment is capable of doing and how it can assist you in your business. And then, most importantly, also enjoy yourselves. Okay, so for us, the brighter future, for us, we believe that all of us, with lockdown and what was happening, is we all want to be sustainable for the future. We need the future to be brighter, and we need to adapt. All of us having our own businesses, we need to adapt to what the new norm are. And luckily for all of us, I believe we are all creative. So we are able to adapt. We are a Rainbow Nation, and we can do it. I also believe that printing still holds a very strong communication, and with printing you are still able to give a strong communication with what you present to your customers. Like my colleague said, this is our first cut sheet inkjet device. It's water-based. We can provide you with an affordable system with all the benefits that inkjet provide you with. We do this by adding more media flexibility, color consistency, low maintenance as we have very low moving parts. I'll explain to you that in the Customer Experience Center, and then of course, very high productivity. The machine is actually very good with transactional printing, trans-promotional printing, variable data, bulk printing, and like I said, it is very fast and very durable. We aim to, it starts at 150,000 pages per month up until 1 million. That's where the machine performs at its best. The main thing is it doesn't reduce speed when you print on thicker stock. The reason being we've got 2 trays that simultaneously dry the substrate. So that's how we maintain the speed. It's unique technology and the color consistency is very good. Like my colleague mentioned, we don't use heat. We don't need to fuse the ink onto the paper. It's just spraying ink onto the paper at very high speeds, and we do it very well. Having said that, it only uses 220 volts for the power. It uses a normal power plug on each and every one of the components, so no special power requirements. We've got 2 options available. We've got your normal ink cartridge, which is 1 liter, and then we've got a second option that is the bulk option that allows you to save up to 30% more on your cost saving and also print more than double than what you would usually print with your normal cartridges that comes with the machine. So if you look at the configuration, at entry level, it starts at about just over 3 meters, up until to the full configuration, which is 8.2 meters, more or less. So basically what we do is we come and assess, and we will supply you with the best possible solution that will allow you to be productive and get the most out of the equipment. This machine is very complementary to what existing equipment you have. So it's meant to complement and to take over some of the jobs that you aren't able to run on the existing equipment that you've got. Okay, so it's an enhancer. Okay, it also comes with a Fari controller, which I'm pretty sure you guys are all familiar with the technology. It's fully integratable with most of the workflow solutions that you might already have in your business. It optimizes your media profiles and it auto-automates your workflow processes. We are also able to create color profiles that will allow you to get the best color consistency out of the device with cost saving, meaning we can put less ink onto the paper but still keep the quality of the print. And then if we look at where it fits in, like I said, transactional printing, corporate, government, finance, health, education, that's really, it fits in anywhere. It just, you need to be creative. If we look at the advantages, like I said, very good, sharp, and the color consistency is good. The productivity is high. Again, it doesn't slow down when we print on thick stock. Okay, and then also it's easy integratable with any workflow system that you've got. We've got a relatively small footprint in comparison to the devices that's out there already. And what's very nice is when the substrate comes out, it's completely flat, already dry, ready to take to your offline equipment and finish it. So there's no bottleneck there. We've also recently, is this the video now? Oh, okay, sorry. So recently we've partnered with Solimar and VPress. If you have any complex workflow solutions that you were thinking of implementing, we are able to assist you with that. The VPress solution is a web-to-print basis solution. With COVID around, you are able to open up that revenue stream and get those type of workflow or jobs in from customers that are working from home and don't necessarily want to come out and hand in their jobs and get it printed. The machine also works very well on NCR paper, envelopes, bulk printing, corporate annual reports, training documents, basically really anything that you can think of, you should be able to print on the machine. Like I said, it's a very good complementary unit. I'll see you guys in the Customer Experience Center. Like I said, please come and view the device. I'll show you a little bit more what each component can do and the technical specs on it. Feel free to ask as many questions as possible. We do have a display area with some different medias that I've printed on and different samples, just to give you an idea. When I said if you are creative, you are able to grow your business and grow that extra revenue stream. So that's it from my side. Thanks a lot.
Okay, is everybody awake still with me? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Abisha Katerere. I'm the head of marketing for PrintingSA. On behalf of PrintingSA, we would like to thank you all for attending today. It's been a fantastic turnout given the current COVID regulations. You know, we can see that everybody's quite eager to come out and play now. So having you all here is a wonderful sight to see. And I would also like to extend our sincere thanks to Kyocera for hosting us. Kyocera, no doubt, joined PrintingSA not too long ago, actually. And you know, we came up with this brainchild to host a live event when the time was permitting. And you know, they've really come on board. And I think you guys can appreciate their facilities are state of the art. And you know, we can't wait for you to go through the showroom and see, you know, what they've got to offer, because I know they're very proud of, you know, their new baby that's in the showroom. I'd also like to thank PrintingSA, Lalane and her team for availing themselves today. I think, you know, it was very informative. I know for a fact we've been dealing with PrintingSA for a couple of months now in terms of signing up a partnership agreement. So this was also our first little test run with them, and I think those of you who are here can attest to the fact that the information you got is information that is in the public domain, but you know, really unpacked as Lalane did today. So Lalane, thank you so much for availing yourself today, and we really appreciate your time. Shania from Africa Print and Sign Africa, and Matthew, thank you for being here. These guys are our media partners, and you know, I think some of you would have received the invitation, you know, from their channels. So thank you once again for supporting the Federation. Last but not least, our members, those of you joining us from around the country over the live stream, thank you for taking the time. Our non-members who've taken up the call to be here today, please note that there was a disclaimer on the invitation that if you're not a member of PrintingSA, there are application forms that you need to fill out before we let you off the premises. So please make sure you do that before you go. Agility is with us as well, which is one of our title sponsors, and I know they've got some goodies for you before you leave as well at the reception area. So we have tried to spoil you as much as possible today, which hopefully will entice you to join us at our other occasions around the country. Cape Town, we're coming to you at the end of this month, and Durban will be there again in June. And yeah, that's it from me. Without any further ado, would like to play the PrintingSA video for you, and then we'll head on out to have some refreshments and check out the machine.
The father of management thinking, Peter Drucker, once said, "Growth that adds volume without improving productivity is fat, and growth that diminishes productivity is cancer." You may be asking, what exactly is productivity and why is it important for our country? Productivity is more than just the measure of how effectively resources are used to produce output. It is using less to create more, working smarter, not harder. It is a mindset that continuously aspires to better ways of accomplishing tasks and conducting business. It is doing what I do today better than I did yesterday, and even better tomorrow. It is continuous improvement, which is referred to as Kaizen in Japanese. Empirical evidence has shown that it is through enhanced productivity that economic growth is generated. The exports and trade position of a country become better, enabling it to compete globally, and skills and decent jobs are created. Established in terms of Section 31(1) of the Employment Services Act, number 4 of 2014, Productivity SA is a Schedule 3A public entity of the Department of Employment and Labour with the responsibility to fulfill an economic or social mandate of government, which is to promote employment growth and productivity, contributing to South Africa's socio-economic development and competitiveness. We are structured into 3 regions. Region 1, which is based in Midrand, caters for Gauteng, Limpopo, and Northwest. Region 2, situated in Bellville, Cape Town, caters for the Western Cape, Free State, and Northern Cape. Region 3, located in eThekwini, covers KZN, Mpumalanga, and Eastern Cape. Our vision is to lead and inspire a productive South Africa with a mission to improve productivity by diagnosing, advising, implementing, monitoring and evaluating solutions aimed at improving South Africa's sustainable growth, development and employment through increased competitiveness. As an ISO 9001-2015 accredited entity, Productivity SA's core functions are promoting a culture of productivity in the workplace, facilitating and evaluating productivity improvement and competencies in workplaces, supporting initiatives aimed at preventing job losses, measuring and evaluating productivity in the workplace, undertaking productivity-related research, maintaining a database of productivity and competitiveness systems and publicizing thereof, promoting social dialogue and inculcating a culture of productivity and competitiveness mindset in the workplace and society as a whole. These functions are delivered through our 3 enterprise development and support programs: the Competitiveness Improvement Services, Business Turnaround and Recovery, and Research, Innovation and Statistics. The Competitiveness Improvement Services program aims to enhance the capacities of SMMEs and cooperatives to adapt world-class productivity enhancement best practices, focusing on product processes and people, contribute to the creation of productive employment and decent work by improving the competitiveness and sustainability of enterprises, enhance productivity and operational efficiency through clustering. The Workplace Challenge program aims to support industrial clusters, including the Special Economic Zone and Industrial Development Zones, and to encourage workplace collaboration between management and workers. Prioritize the participation of historically disadvantaged people and regions in the economy, and thereby supporting meaningful BBBEE. For the emerging sector, we provide one-day workshops to 6 months capacity building programs such as Business Performance Improvement, Early Warning Systems, Productivity Champion Training. For small, medium and large stable businesses, we offer Kaizen and Workplace Transformation through our Workplace Challenge program and the Competitiveness Enhancement program. These programs focus on continuous improvement, improving workplace collaboration and implementing strategies for best practice, clustering of enterprises, which facilitates networking and knowledge sharing, operational efficiency within exporting or potential export clients, productivity and innovation, value chain efficiency and export market access. The Business Turnaround and Recovery Program, formerly known as Turnaround Solutions, is a tried and tested enterprise development program which was conceived as a response to the economic meltdown during the 1998 Jobs Summit and was further endorsed in the Jobs Summit Framework Agreement in 2018. It aims to preserve jobs and create conditions conducive for job retention and new job creation, provide support to enterprises facing economic distress, offer initiatives aimed at minimizing the retrenchment of employees or preventing job losses. The initiatives may provide for turnaround strategies, layoffs, retraining, and alternative employment opportunities. The Business Turnaround and Recovery Program is applicable to all sectors. The criteria for business turnaround and recovery are: the company must be registered, in operation for 2 years, it must have physical premises where business processes take place, be compliant with UIF regulations. It must have a valid tax clearance certificate and 2 years audited financials or independently reviewed management accounts, proving the decline or distress of the business and its potential to turn around. Research, Innovation and Statistics Program aims to measure and evaluate productivity in the workplace and competitiveness of the economy, develop and maintain databases and best practice productivity and competitiveness systems, business model innovation and products and services innovation to improve quality and access to services, undertake and publicize productivity-related research and statistics. Productivity SA produces productivity statistics and IMD competitiveness report, as well as sector studies and economic research. Our interventions target enterprises throughout the business life cycle, from emerging businesses, stable businesses, and businesses going through financial distress. We support SMMEs and cooperatives in the priority productive sectors of the economy, in line with sector master plans, with strong growth and employment multipliers. Over the past 5 years, from 2015-2016, we have assisted 1,380 companies, saved 44,736 jobs, provided SMME training to 25,417 people, and placed 266 interns. As part of building a culture of productivity movement in the country, Productivity SA hosts Productivity Awards, which aim to recognize enterprises that have shown productivity growth, employment growth, wealth and income growth, as well as social responsibility. Bringing the Productivity SA slogan of Inspiring a Competitive South Africa, the awards are conferred in the categories of Emerging, Cooperatives, Public and Corporate Sectors. The finalists in the 9 provincial awards compete for the top honors at the National Productivity Awards Gala Dinner, held in October annually as part of Productivity Month. Over the past 5 years, 375 companies have participated in the Productivity Awards. Here's an example of a Productivity SA client who implemented one of our programs.
Heidie-Mari Agricultural Cooperative is an agricultural cooperative that was established in 2009. The cooperative is made up of 5 members and runs various agricultural projects like livestock, crops and egg production. The cooperative currently has 8 layer houses with a total holding capacity of around 66,000 chickens. They attended Productivity SA's Business Ethics Workshop, Business Performance Improvement Workshop, and Basic Finance Workshop. As a result of their productivity strategy over the period 2017 to 2019, egg production increased from 7,000 eggs a day to 32,000 eggs per day. Quality of production, branding and service increased from 70% to 90%. Poultry houses increased from 6 to 8 poultry houses. Number of employees increased from 12 to 14. And sales turnover percentage year-on-year growth increased from 1.4 million rand to 1.8 million rand. Heidie-Mari Agricultural Cooperative are striving to live up to their mission to provide employment to the youth and disabled within their community. Annex Logistics Pty Limited was established in 2007 as an enterprise development company providing non-core services to Mercedes-Benz South Africa and is a triple BEE Level 1 black-owned entity. Annex Logistics is dedicated to fleet and warehousing solutions in the logistics and transportation service industry. The company decided to implement Productivity SA's Workplace Challenge program. They implemented ISO 9001 as well as safety and quality assessment for sustainability as a result of their productivity strategies implemented over the financial period 2014 to 2017. Fleet size increased from 4 to 22 trucks, an increase of 400%. Operating profits increased from 22 million rand to 29 million rand, an increase of 16%. 60 to 120-day creditors were reduced from 95 days to 30 days, an increase of 42%. Number of employees increased from 74 to 230, an increase of 200%. Total income over total expenditure rand turnover increased from 101% to 120%. Sales turnover as a percentage year-on-year growth increased from 26% to 201%, and total productivity increased from 10% to 24%. Annex Logistics Pty Limited is driven by passion to be the best in their field and has established themselves as the trusted brand in the market. They embrace a culture of continuous improvement and play an active role within their community.
For more information on our programs and how Productivity SA can help your business, visit productivitysA.co.za or contact us on the following numbers.